As the Hope jumped to faster than light speed, Hana looked at the stars. She thought about Kira and the other cubs, about Thornev and his wisdom, about Renvok and his strength, about her own daughter and the love that never died. Somewhere out there, children needed help. And humans would answer, not with weapons or demands, but with medicine and compassion, with knowledge and courage, with the simple belief that all life was precious and worth fighting for. That was what humanity brought to the galaxy. Not just technology or strength, but the willingness to care, to sacrifice, to stand beside others in their darkest moments and say, "We will help. We will not abandon you. We are Pack. And Pack protects Pack, always." The ceremony was unlike anything Hana had ever experienced. The Great Hall was decorated with banners from all the clans. Fires burned in ceremonial bowls, filling the space with sweet smoke. Every Valaxi wore their finest clothing, leather and metal worked into beautiful patterns. Renvok stood in the center, his voice carrying to every corner. "Today we honor two sky warriors who became Pack. Dr. Kang Hana and Lieutenant Park Minho came when we called for help. They risked everything to save our cubs. They stayed when they could have fled. They taught us instead of keeping secrets. They showed us what true strength means." The clan leader approached Hana. He held something in his hands. It was a pendant made of dark metal carved with symbols. "This is a Pack totem. It has been in my family for 20 generations. Now it belongs to you. You are Pack. You will always have a home here." Hana took the pendant with shaking hands. It was heavy and warm. "Thank you," she whispered. "This honor means everything to me." Thornev came forward next. He placed a healer's sash around Hana's shoulders. "This marks you as a master healer. Not just of humans, but of all people. You have earned it." Minho received gifts too. A warrior's blade from the armory, blessed by all the clan leaders. A map showing every clan territory, marking him as a trusted friend. He stood tall, clearly moved by the ceremony. Then Kira stepped forward. The young Valaxi had grown stronger over the past weeks. Her fur had regained its shine. Her eyes were bright with intelligence and determination. She wore her healer's sash proudly. "Dr. Hana," Kira said, "you saved my life. But you did more than that. You showed me a path. I want to be a healer like you. I want to help others no matter what world they come from. Will you teach me more?" Hana smiled through tears. "I would be honored. But you do not need to be like me. Be like yourself. That is more than enough." The young Valaxi hugged her. Hana hugged back, careful of the height difference. It felt right. Like hugging the daughter she had lost. Not replacing her. Never that. But honoring her memory by helping others. Even Drakon approached. The war chief did not smile, but his hostility was gone. "You have proven yourself, human. I was wrong to doubt. May your pack grow strong." It was the closest to an apology Hana would get. She accepted it with grace. "Thank you, war chief. May your warriors always protect the young." The ceremony ended with a feast. The Valaxi brought food from all their territories. Strange meats and vegetables that Hana had never seen. Some of it was too spicy for human taste, but she tried everything. Minho laughed as she made faces at the stronger flavors. Cubs played around the hall, healthy and energetic. Parents watched them with joy and relief. Healers discussed treatments and shared knowledge. The hall was filled with life and hope. The next morning, the Prometheus sent a shuttle. Hana and Minho prepared to leave. They packed their equipment carefully, leaving the synthesis machine and other supplies behind. The Valaxi would need them. Thornev walked with Hana to the courtyard. "I will continue the work," he said. "The young healers are learning well, and we have started sharing knowledge with other Valaxi clans. Even ones we used to fight with. That makes me very happy," Hana said. "You are a great healer, Thornev. I learned as much from you as you learned from me." The old Valaxi looked pleased. "Will you return? We would welcome more exchange of knowledge." "I hope so, if my people allow it. This place has become important to me." Renvok and Kira came to say goodbye. The clan leader towered over Hana, but his touch was gentle. "You will always have Pack here. If you need anything, call us. We will answer." Kira hugged Hana tightly. "Come back soon. I have so much to learn still." "You will make a wonderful healer," Hana said. "I am proud of you." The shuttle took off, carrying Hana and Minho back to the Prometheus. Hana watched the planet shrink below them. The red mountains, the purple sky, the stone fortresses. It looked harsh, but she knew better now. It was beautiful in its own way. Commander Jiwan met them in the docking bay. She looked them over carefully. You both look thinner and exhausted, but alive. I am glad. The mission was successful, Minho reported. The outbreak is contained. The Valaxi have the knowledge and tools to handle future cases. Diplomatic relations are stronger than ever. Jiwan nodded. Earth Command wants a full report. What you two did down there has caused quite a stir. The Valaxi contacted every human embassy in the sector to tell them about the doctors who saved their children. You are famous now. Hana felt uncomfortable. I just did what was needed. The commander smiled. That's exactly why everyone is talking about you. Now go rest. You have earned it. In her quarters, Hana sat on her bed and looked at the pack totem. The dark metal gleamed in the ship's light. She thought about everything that had happened. The fear, the struggle, the triumph. The cubs who lived because she refused to give up. She pulled out the photo of her daughter from her desk drawer. The little girl smiled in the picture, frozen in time. Hana touched the photo gently. I could not save you, she whispered. But I saved others because of you. You taught me what love means, what fighting for life means. Thank you, my sweet girl. For the first time in years, thinking about her daughter did not bring only pain. There was sadness, yes, but also peace, purpose. Her daughter's life had meaning because it taught Hana to cherish all life, to fight for every child, to never give up hope. A chime at her door interrupted her thoughts. Come in, she said. Minho entered, carrying 2 cups of tea. Thought you might need this. They sat together in comfortable silence for a while. Then Minho spoke. Commander G1 told me something interesting. Other alien species heard about what happened on Valaxis Prime. Some of them are requesting human medical assistance. They want to meet the species that risks everything to save children. Hana looked up. Really? Earth Command is talking about establishing a permanent medical embassy program, sending human doctors to help other species, and they want you to lead it, me? But I am just one doctor. Minho smiled. You are the doctor who saved an alien civilization, the one who taught warriors to accept help, the one who proved that humans care about more than just profit or power. You showed them what humanity can be at its best. Hana felt overwhelmed. I need to think about it. Take your time. But I hope you say yes. The galaxy needs more people like you. Over the next few days, Hana rested and recovered. She wrote her reports for Earth Command. She answered endless questions from scientists and diplomats. She received messages from the Valaxi, updating her on the Cubs' progress. Kira sent videos of her training. The young Valaxi was brilliant and dedicated. She would be a great healer someday. Maybe she would even surpass her teachers. Thornev sent reports on the medical facilities. They were running smoothly. No new outbreaks. The disease was under control. Renvok sent a simple message. Pack protects pack, always. 6 months later, Hana stood on the bridge of a new ship. Not the Prometheus, but the Hope. A medical vessel designed for long-term missions. She wore her healer sash from Thornev and the pack totem from Renvok. Minho was her second in command. Other human doctors and medics filled the crew. They were heading to a distant system where another species needed help with an epidemic. Commander Jiwan's face appeared on the screen. Good luck out there, Dr. Kang. Make humanity proud. We will do our best, Hana said. The hall fell silent when Hana made her announcement. Every Valaxi stared at her. Even Thornev looked shocked. I'm not leaving, Minho said firmly. If you stay, I stay. Minho. Hana started to protest. No arguments, he said. You'll need protection. You'll need someone to translate. And you'll need a friend. I'm staying. Commander Jiwan's voice came through the communicator, angry and worried. Dr. Kang, Lieutenant Park, you are both disobeying direct orders. The storm could last weeks. We might not be able to come back for you. I understand, Commander, Hana said. But these cubs will die without help. Someone has to teach the Valaxi how to make the treatment themselves, how to recognize and fight this disease. That takes time. Please send whatever supplies you can. There was a long pause. Then Jiwan sighed. You're both crazy, but you're also the best humans I know. Supplies are being loaded now. The shuttle will drop them and return. Stay safe. That's an order. We will, Commander, Minho said. Renvok approached them. You would stay here? Risk your lives for our cubs? Why? Hana met his golden eyes. Because children matter. All children. Human or Valaxi. If I can save them, I must try. That's what being a healer means. The clan leader was quiet for a moment. Then he placed one huge hand on Hana's shoulder. You honor us. From this day, you are pack. Both of you. No harm will come to you while I live. Other Valaxi came forward and touched Hana and Minho gently. It was a ritual of acceptance. Even some of the warriors who had been hostile before now showed respect. The two humans were pack now. Family. Only Dracon remained at the back, his face dark with disapproval. The shuttle arrived an hour later. It dropped supplies in the courtyard and left quickly, racing away from the approaching storm. Hana and Minho carried the boxes inside. Medical equipment, food, more filtration supplies, and something else. A portable synthesis machine that could create basic medicines and antibodies. This changes everything, Hana said excitedly. With this, we can make a real cure. Not just filtered blood, but targeted antibodies that attack the virus directly. Thornev examined the machine with interest. Teach me how it works. If you can create this medicine, others must learn to make it too. When you leave, we must be able to continue without you. Hana smiled. Exactly. That's why we stayed. For the next 3 days, Hana worked with Thornev to develop a proper treatment. She taught him everything. How to analyze blood samples, how to identify the virus, how to program the synthesis machine, how to test the antibodies for safety. The old healer was a fast learner. He combined his traditional knowledge with human technology in ways that surprised Hana. Sometimes his methods worked better than hers. He knew things about Valaxi biology that no human could know. Together, they created an antibody treatment that was more effective than the blood transfusions. It targeted the virus directly and helped the cubs' own immune systems fight back. Better yet, it was fast to produce. They could make enough for hundreds of patients. Kira was the first to receive the new treatment. She had recovered well from the transfusion, but the virus was still in her system. The antibodies would finish the job. Within hours, her fever was completely gone. The last of the crystals dissolved. She sat up in bed looking more like herself. Her green eyes were bright and curious again. Can I help? She asked Hana. I want to learn what you do. I want to heal others like you healed me. Hana felt her heart warm. Of course you can. Come, I'll teach you. Kira became Hana's assistant. The young Valaxi learned quickly, just like Thornev. She helped prepare treatments and comfort the younger cubs. She translated between Hana and the parents who only spoke the Valaxi language. As word spread about the cure, cubs from other clans were brought to Renvok's hall. The great space became a true hospital. Hana and Thornev trained other Valaxi healers. They set up production facilities in different clan territories. They created a network of medical care across the planet. Minho helped coordinate everything. He made schedules, tracked supplies, and communicated between clans. His talent for languages and organization proved invaluable. But not everyone was happy about the changes. Late one night, Hana was working in her laboratory area when she heard footsteps. She looked up to see Dracon standing there. The war chief's face was hard as stone. You have changed everything, he said coldly. Our people now depend on alien technology. We look weak to the other worlds. Hana stood to face him. Your cubs are alive. Is that weakness? We should have found our own way. Without outsider help, your healers tried, Hana said gently. Thornev tried. Everyone tried. Sometimes asking for help is the strongest thing you can do. My people learned that lesson too. Draken's hand moved to the weapon at his belt. For a moment, Hana thought he might attack. Then Minho appeared from the shadows, his own hand on his weapon. Is there a problem here? Minho asked quietly. Before Dracon could answer, a small voice interrupted. Uncle Draken, why are you angry? Kira had entered the room. She wore a healer's sash now, given to her by Thornev. She looked at the war chief with innocent eyes. Draken's face softened slightly. I am concerned for our people's honor, little one. Kira walked up to him without fear. Dr. Hana saved my life. She saved all our lives. She stayed when she could have left. She taught us her knowledge instead of keeping it secret. That is honorable. If we cannot see that, then we are the ones without honor. The young Valaxi's words hung in the air. Draken stared at her for a long moment. Then he looked at Hana. Perhaps, he said slowly, I have been looking at this wrong. Perhaps strength is not just about fighting alone. Perhaps it is also about knowing when to accept alliance. He turned and walked away. It was not an apology, but it was something. A beginning. Kira smiled at Hana. He will come around. He just needs time. Change is hard for warriors. You are very wise for someone so young, Hana said. The young Valaxi shrugged. I learned from the Sky Warriors. You taught me that wisdom has many forms. 3 weeks after the storm began, it finally ended. The purple sky cleared. The Prometheus could return. Commander Jiwan's voice came through the communicator. Dr. Kang, Lieutenant Park, are you ready for extraction? Hana looked around the hall. Cubs were playing now, healthy and strong. Thornev was teaching 3 young healers how to use the synthesis machine. Kira was helping a nervous cub take medicine. The production facilities were running smoothly across multiple clans. Yes, Commander, Hana said. The work here is done. The Valaxi can handle things now. But even as she said it, she felt sad. This place had become important to her. These people had become pack. Renvok approached her. You are leaving. The storm has passed. My ship is coming back for us. The clan leader nodded. Then we must have a ceremony. You cannot leave without being honored properly. That evening, all the clans gathered in the Great Hall. Hundreds of Valaxi filled the space. Cubs who had been saved. Parents who had their children back. Healers who had learned new ways. Even Draken was there, standing silently at the back. Renvok stepped forward, his voice carrying across the hall. Hana and Minho had become more than pack. They had become legends, heroes who came from the sky and saved their future. The story would be told for generations, and the bond between humans and Valaxi would never be broken. Dawn came slowly to Valaxis Prime. The purple sky lightened to pale violet. Hana had not slept. Her eyes burned from staring at samples for hours. Empty food containers sat beside her workspace brought by Minho, who watched over her through the night. But she had found something. A pattern in the virus structure. A weakness. The virus attacked young immune systems because they lacked certain proteins that adults had. If she could give the cubs those proteins, their bodies might be able to fight back. But creating synthetic proteins would take weeks in a proper laboratory. She had hours, not weeks. Hana rubbed her tired eyes. There had to be another way. She looked across the hall at the adult Valaxi keeping watch over their cubs. Strong, healthy adults whose blood already contained what the cubs needed. A memory came to her. An old Earth technique used before modern medicine. Blood transfusions. Taking immunity from those who had it and giving it to those who did not. It was risky. Valaxi blood might react badly to the process, but it was a chance. The only chance they had. Hana stood up, her legs stiff from sitting so long. She walked to where Thornev was mixing herbs for the morning treatments. The old healer looked at her with tired eyes. He had not slept either. I have an idea, Hana said, but I need your help. Thornev set down his bowl. What kind of idea? Hana explained her plan. She would take blood from healthy adults and filter it carefully. Then she would give the filtered blood to the cubs. The adult blood contained the proteins and antibodies that the cubs lacked. It might give them the strength to fight the virus. Thornev listened carefully. This is like the old ritual of strength sharing, he said slowly. In ancient times, warriors would share blood with young hunters to make them strong. But it was forbidden long ago. Too many died from it. What if we could make it safe, Hana asked. My equipment can filter the blood properly, remove anything dangerous, keep only what helps. The old healer looked at the sick cubs. Then he looked back at Hana. Teach me how it works. If we do this, I must understand it. These are my people. For the next hour, Hana showed Thornev her equipment. She explained how to filter blood, how to test for compatibility, how to monitor the process. The old healer asked good questions. He was brilliant in his own way, she realized. His knowledge of Valaxi biology was deep. Together they could make this work. They went to Renvok. The clan leader stood beside his daughter's bed. Kira was weaker now. Her breathing came in shallow gasps. The crystals had spread further across her skin. Hana explained the treatment. Renvok listened without interrupting. When she finished, he nodded once. Use my blood first, he said. If this works, use it on Kira. If it fails, let it fail with my blood, not another's. Other adult Valaxi stepped forward. Use mine too, and mine. We will all give blood to save the cubs. Hana felt her throat tighten. These warriors, so proud and strong, were offering their own blood without hesitation. This was what being a pack meant to them. Everyone protecting the young. Minho helped Hana set up the filtration system. They used parts from the shuttle's water purifier and medical supplies. It was not perfect, but it would work. Thornev watched every step, learning the process so he could repeat it. Renvok lay down on one of the stone beds. Hana inserted a needle into his arm. The clan leader did not flinch. His blood was dark red, almost purple. It flowed through the tubes into the filtration system. The machine hummed and worked. Slowly, the filtered blood collected in a clean container. Hana tested it carefully. The dangerous elements were removed. The helpful proteins and antibodies remained. "It's ready," she said. Renvok sat up. "Give it to Kira." Hana moved to the young Valaxi's bedside. Kira's eyes were closed now. Her breathing was so weak that Hana could barely see her chest move. There was not much time left. "I'm going to help you now," Hana said softly, though she was not sure Kira could hear. "Your father's blood will make you strong." She inserted the needle carefully. The filtered blood began to flow into Kira's body. Hana monitored every second. Heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen levels. Any sign of rejection would mean disaster. The hall was completely silent. Every Valaxi watched. Even Draken stood at the back, his yellow eyes fixed on the small form of Kira. Minutes passed like hours. Then Hana saw it. Kira's oxygen levels were rising. Just slightly, but rising. Her breathing became a little deeper, a little easier. The crystals on her skin began to change. The sharp edges softened. Some of the smaller formations started to dissolve. "It's working," Minho whispered. Hana did not dare to hope yet, but her scanner showed improvement. Kira's immune system was fighting back now. The adult blood was giving her the weapons she needed. An hour later, Kira opened her eyes. They were clearer than before, less clouded by fever. She looked at her father and tried to smile. "Father," she said. Her voice was weak but steady. Renvok knelt beside his daughter's bed. He touched her face gently with one huge hand. "You are strong, little one, like your mother was." A sound rose in the hall. The adult Valaxi were calling out in their own language. It was not a howl of grief this time. It was a cry of hope and triumph. "We must treat the others quickly," Thornev said. "Before they become too weak." Hana nodded. She and Thornev worked together now as a team. Adult Valaxi lined up to donate blood. The filtration system ran continuously. One by one, the sick cubs received transfusions. Minho helped coordinate everything. He kept track of which cubs had been treated and which donors had already given blood. He communicated with the Prometheus, giving updates to Commander Jiwon. Not all the cubs responded as quickly as Kira. Some were too sick. But even the weakest ones showed small improvements. Their fevers dropped. Their breathing eased. The crystals stopped spreading. As the day went on, Drakon remained in the hall. He did not help, but he watched. His expression was hard to read. Hana wondered what he was thinking. By evening, 20 cubs had received treatment. All of them were stable. Some were even sitting up, talking to their parents. The change in the hall was amazing. Where there had been despair, now there was hope. But then Hana received a message from the Prometheus. She read it and felt her heart sink. "What is it?" Minho asked. "Reports from other clans. More cubs are getting sick. Dozens of them. Maybe hundreds across the whole planet. The outbreak is spreading faster than we thought." Minho looked shocked. "We don't have enough filtered blood for hundreds of cubs. Even with every adult donating, I know," Hana said. "That's why we need something else. A real cure, not just a treatment." Her communicator beeped again. Commander Jiwon's voice was urgent. "Dr. Kang, the storm is intensifying. We need to leave orbit in 12 hours. No exceptions, 12 hours. Not enough time to develop a cure. Not enough time to treat all the sick cubs. Hana would have to choose. Leave with the Prometheus and let the other cubs die, or stay behind and risk never getting home." She thought about her daughter, about promises made and broken, about why she became a doctor in the first place. There was really no choice at all. "Commander Jiwon," Hana said into her communicator. "I'm staying. Send down everything you can spare. Medical supplies, equipment, anything useful. Then get the Prometheus to safety. Miho will return with the shuttle. I'll wait out the storm here. The cubs need me and I won't abandon them now. This is my decision. This is what humans do. We help even when it costs us everything." Hana walked slowly through the rows of sick cubs. Each step felt heavy. She had seen many terrible things in her medical career, but this was different. These were children from another world, suffering from a disease she did not understand. Their parents watched her with a mix of hope and anger. She was their last chance, but she was also an outsider. An old Valaxi approached them. His fur was white at the tips and his hands were covered in scars. He wore robes marked with symbols of healing. This was Thornev, the chief healer of Clan Renvok. His yellow eyes studied Hana with clear dislike. "You are the human healer," Thornev said. His voice was cold. "What can you do that we cannot? We have been treating sickness for thousands of years. Our knowledge runs deep." "I respect your knowledge," Hana said carefully. "I came to learn and to help. Perhaps together we can find an answer." Thornev snorted but said nothing more. Renvok spoke instead. "Show her the patience. Tell her what you know." "We have no time for pride." The old healer led Hana to the nearest cub. The small patient was a female, her dark fur matted with sweat. Her breathing came in short, painful gasps. The crystal formations on her skin were larger than on the others, spreading across her chest and arms. "This is Kira," Renvok said quietly. "My daughter. She is strong, but the sickness takes even the strong ones." Hana knelt beside the young Valaxi. "May I examine her?" she asked. Renvok nodded. Hana pulled out her medical scanner. The device hummed as it passed over Kira's body. The readings made Hana's stomach tighten. The cub's temperature was dangerously high. Her oxygen levels were dropping. The crystals were not just on the skin. They were forming inside her lungs. Kira's eyes opened slightly. They were green, bright even through the fever. She looked at Hana with curiosity, not fear. "Are you really from the sky?" the cub whispered. "Yes," Hana said softly, "from very far away. I'm here to help you feel better." Kira tried to smile. "You are small for a warrior. I'm a different kind of warrior," Hana said. "I fight sickness instead of enemies." The cub's eyes closed again. Hana stood and moved to examine other patients. Minho followed with his tablet, recording everything. The symptoms were the same in all the cubs. High fever, respiratory failure, and those strange crystals. But why only the young? Adult Valaxi showed no signs of illness. "Tell me about the first cases," Hana said to Thornev. "Where did the sickness start?" "In the lower territories, near the new mining sites. 3 cubs fell sick at once. Then it spread to other clans. We tried everything. Herbs, prayers, cleansing rituals. Nothing stopped it. The mines," Hana thought. Something was disturbed there. Something ancient, perhaps. She needed samples. She needed to see the disease under a microscope. "I need to take blood samples from the sick cubs," Hana said. "And from healthy adults, too. I need to compare them." Before Thornev could object, a commotion arose at the entrance to the hall. A large Valaxi warrior strode in. His fur was black as night and his eyes were cold yellow. He wore armor decorated with metals and bones. This was clearly someone important. "War Chief Dracon," Minho whispered to Hana. "He's the leader of the military forces, and he hates humans." Dracon stopped in front of Renvok. "This is madness," he growled. "You brought aliens into our sacred hall? You let them touch our cubs? Have you forgotten who we are?" "I have forgotten nothing," Renvok said. His voice was dangerous and low. "But I will not watch our future die because of pride." "The human healer is our guest. She will fail," Dracon said. "And when she does, everyone will see that humans are weak and useless. We should rely on ourselves alone." "We always have." Hana felt all eyes turn to her. This was a test. If she showed fear or uncertainty, she would lose any chance of helping. She stepped forward and looked up at the massive war chief. "I understand your concerns," she said clearly. "You don't know me. You don't trust my people, but right now those cubs are dying. I might fail, but if I do nothing, they will certainly die. Which is worse?" Dracon stared at her. For a moment, Hana thought he might attack. Then he turned away. "Do what you want, Renvok. But when this ends badly, remember that I warned you." The war chief left, his footsteps echoing. The tension in the hall remained. Hana took a deep breath and turned to Thornev. "The samples," she said. "Please help me collect them." For the next hour, Hana worked carefully. She took blood from sick cubs and healthy adults. She scraped samples from the crystal formations. She documented every symptom. Thornev watched her methods with growing interest despite his initial hostility. "Your tools are strange," the old healer said. "What do they tell you?" "They help me see things too small for eyes alone," Hana explained. "Diseases are often caused by tiny creatures called viruses or bacteria. I need to find what's making the cubs sick." Thornev looked thoughtful. "We have old stories about invisible demons that cause plague. Perhaps your tiny creatures are the same thing." "Perhaps they are," Hana said. She was starting to like this old healer. Under his distrust was genuine care for his patients. Hana set up her portable laboratory in a corner of the hall. Minho helped her arrange the equipment. It was not much, but it would have to be enough. She began analyzing the samples under her microscope. Hours passed. Hana barely noticed. She was lost in her work, examining cells and running tests. The Valaxi blood was different from human blood, but not as different as she had feared. The basic structures were similar enough that she could understand what she was seeing, and what she saw was terrifying. The crystals were not just symptoms. They were the disease itself. A virus unlike anything she had seen before. It attacked the immune systems of young Valaxi, turning their own bodies against them. The virus grew and multiplied, forming crystalline structures that destroyed tissue from the inside. Adult Valaxi were immune because their mature immune systems could fight off the virus, but cubs had no defense. The disease was perfectly designed to kill the young. Hana sat back, her mind racing. How could she fight this? She needed to boost the cub's immune system somehow, or maybe transfer immunity from adults. But Valaxi biology was still partly unknown to her. One wrong move could make things worse. A cry of anguish cut through her thoughts. Hana jumped up and ran toward the sound. Parents were gathered around one of the stone beds. A small cub lay motionless, his chest no longer moving. The crystals covered most of his body now. Thornev was already there, pressing his hands to the cub's chest, trying to restart his heart. But it was too late. The cub was gone. The mother howled. It was a sound of pure grief that made Hana's blood run cold. The father joined in, and soon other Valaxi throughout the hall were howling too. The sound echoed off the stone walls, a chorus of pain and loss. Hana stood frozen. She had failed to save this one. She had been too slow, too uncertain. The face of her own daughter flashed in her mind. The same helplessness, the same terrible moment of loss. Draken appeared again. "See," he said loudly, "the human cannot help us. We should throw her out before more cubs die." Several warriors moved forward, agreeing with him. The mood in the hall turned dangerous. Hana felt Minho step closer to her, ready to defend her if needed. "Wait," a weak voice said. Everyone turned. Kira had raised her head from her bed. The clan leader's daughter looked at the assembled Valaxi with fever-bright eyes. "The human healer is trying to help us," Kira said. "She has been working without rest. She cares about us even though we are not her people. That is strength, not weakness. Give her time." The young Valaxi's words created silence. Even Draken did not speak. Renvok looked at his daughter with pride and sorrow. "My daughter speaks wisdom beyond her years," Renvok said. "Dr. Kang Hana will continue her work. Any who disagree will answer to me." Draken glared but retreated. The other warriors followed him. The crisis was over for now. Hana went to Kira's bedside. "Thank you," she said quietly. "That was very brave." Kira's eyes were already closing again. "Find the answer, Sky Warrior. We are running out of time." Hana returned to her laboratory. Minho brought her food, but she barely ate. The message from Commander G1 came through her communicator. "You have 36 hours left. The storm is getting worse. 36 hours to find a cure for a disease she did not fully understand. To save children from another world. To prove that humans were worth trusting." Hana looked at her samples again. Somewhere in these cells was an answer. She just had to find it. She thought about Kira's green eyes, about all the cubs fighting for their lives, about her own daughter who she could not save. Failure was not an option. Not this time. She bent over her microscope again and continued working. The night would be long, but she would not stop until she found a way to help them. The laboratory was quiet except for the soft hum of machines. Dr. Kang Hana stared at the samples under her microscope, watching tiny alien cells move across the glass slide. She had been studying Valaxi biology for 6 months now, ever since the human ship Prometheus arrived in orbit around their world. The Valaxi were strange and beautiful creatures. They looked like giant wolves that walked on 2 legs with thick fur and sharp eyes that seemed to see right through you. Hana loved her work. Every day brought new discoveries about how these alien bodies worked. But it was lonely work. The Valaxi did not trust humans easily. They were warriors, proud and strong. They thought humans were weak because they were smaller and had no fur or claws. Trade talks were going slowly. Sometimes Hana wondered if they would ever become friends. The door to her lab opened. Lieutenant Park Minho walked in, his face serious. Minho was her friend and protector. He knew how to speak the Valaxi language and understood their customs. He was young but smart, always watching and learning. "Commander G1 needs you on the bridge," Minho said. "Right now?" Hana looked up from her microscope. Minho's voice told her something was wrong. She pulled off her gloves and followed him through the ship's white corridors. Other crew members rushed past them. Everyone looked worried. The bridge was filled with people staring at screens. Commander Lee Ji-won stood in the center, tall and calm as always. She was a good captain, tough but fair. She had gray hair pulled back tight and eyes that missed nothing. "Dr. Kang," Ji-won said, "we received a transmission from clan leader Renvok. Listen." The speakers crackled. Then came a deep voice, rough and heavy with pain. Even through the translation, Hana could hear the desperation. The voice belonged to Renvok, the strongest of all the Valaxi clan leaders. He was the one who had agreed to let humans visit their world. He had never shown weakness before. "Human ship," the voice said slowly. "I ask for help. It shames me to ask, but I must. Our cubs are dying. A sickness has come. Our healers cannot stop it. 17 cubs are dead. Many more will follow. If you have medicine, if you have knowledge, please help us. I will owe you a debt." The transmission ended. The bridge was silent. Hana felt her heart beating fast. 17 dead children? The Valaxi called their young cubs, but they were still children. Still babies who needed protection. "What do we know?" Ji-won asked. Minho pulled up information on the screens. The sickness started 3 days ago. Cubs in multiple clans are sick. High fever, trouble breathing, strange marks on their skin. The Valaxi healers tried all their traditional medicines. Nothing worked. Hana stepped forward. Her mind was already working through possibilities. Unknown virus. Affecting only the young. Fast-acting, deadly. "I need to go down there," she said. Ji-won shook her head. "It's too dangerous. We don't know what this sickness is. It could kill you too. And if something happens to you, it could destroy all our work here. The Valaxi might blame us." "Children are dying," Hana said quietly. "I can help them. That's why I became a doctor." She did not say the rest. She did not tell them about her own daughter, who died when she was only 5 years old, a rare disease that no medicine could cure. Hana had held her little girl's hand and watched her fade away, helpless. She had promised herself then that she would save every child she could. Human or alien, it did not matter. A child was a child. Ji-won studied her face for a long moment. Then she sighed. "There's another problem. A solar storm is coming. A big one. We have to leave orbit in 48 hours or the ship could be damaged. That means you have 2 days. No more." 2 days is enough to understand the sickness," Hana said. "I'll work fast, I'm going with her," Minho said. "She'll need a translator." And protection. Ji-won looked at both of them. Then she nodded slowly. "Prepare a shuttle. Take medical equipment and samples. And be careful. The Valaxi are proud people. Some of them will hate that Renvok asked for help. They might see you as enemies." An hour later, Hana sat in the small shuttle next to Minho. Through the window, she watched the planet grow larger. Valaxis Prime was beautiful in a harsh way. The mountains were red like rust. The sky was purple. Everything looked sharp and dangerous like the Valaxi themselves. Hana checked her medical bag for the 10th time. Scanners, sample containers, basic medicines, portable lab equipment. She had no idea if any of it would work on alien biology, but she had to try. "Tell me about their customs again," she said to Minho. He had told her before, but she needed to hear it again. When she was nervous, she focused on facts and details. "Never show fear," Minho said. "They respect strength. Never turn your back on them until they give permission. That means you don't trust them. Don't stare directly into their eyes for too long. That's a challenge to fight. And most important, don't touch their cubs without permission. They're very protective." Hana nodded, memorizing each rule. The shuttle shook as it entered the atmosphere. The purple sky turned darker. Soon she could see buildings below. They looked like fortresses made of dark stone, strong and permanent. The shuttle landed in a large courtyard. When the door opened, hot air rushed in. It smelled different from Earth, spicy and dry. Hana took a deep breath and stepped out. Valaxi warriors surrounded them immediately. They were huge, at least 7 feet tall. Their fur was gray and silver. They wore armor made of leather and metal. Each one carried weapons. Their amber eyes watched the 2 humans with suspicion. Hana forced herself to stand straight and keep her face calm. Inside, her heart was pounding. These beings could tear her apart without effort. But she was here to help their children. She had to be brave. One of the warriors stepped forward. He was bigger than the others, with scars across his face and arms. His fur was silver gray, thick around his neck like a lion's mane. This had to be Renvok. The clan leader looked down at Hana. His eyes were the color of gold. She could see the pain in them, barely hidden. This proud warrior was suffering. "You are the healer?" he asked in heavily accented English. His voice was deep like thunder. "Yes," Hana said clearly. "I'm Dr. Kang Hana. I came to help your cubs." Renvok stared at her for a long moment. Then he turned and began walking. "Follow me, quickly. We have no time to waste." Hana and Minho followed him through stone corridors. Other Valaxi watched them pass. Some growled low in their throats. Others looked at them with hope. The walls were covered with paintings showing great battles and hunts. This was a civilization built on strength and glory. They entered a huge hall. Hana stopped walking, shocked by what she saw. The great hall had been turned into a hospital. Dozens of small forms lay on stone platforms covered with soft furs. Cubs. They were so small compared to the adult Valaxi, no bigger than human 5-year-olds. Their fur was patchy and dull. They struggled to breathe. Strange crystal-like formations covered their skin, glittering in the dim light. Parents sat beside each cub, watching with desperate eyes. The sound of whimpering and labored breathing filled the air. This was worse than Hana had imagined. Much worse. She had 2 days to save them all.